About a third of the league starting mandatory mini camps today, and the Miami Dolphins are one of those teams. Back-to-back years they've made the playoffs, but they still have not gotten over that hump that they've been trying to get over since Y2K. The year 2000, the last time the Dolphins won a playoff game. And again, expectations are high this season as we take you out to Miami Gardens. Last time the Dolphins won a playoff game, this guy had a hair all the way up there, a big mop on top of the head. Pete Prisco joining us from Dolphins camp. Pete, you seen anything interesting out there yet today?
Here is get paid, get new contracts. That's basically what everybody's talking about out here. As far as on the field today, look, Tua threw the ball around, threw it really well in 7-on-7. Didn't do the 11-on-11 drills, but did throw in 7-on-7 and threw some nice balls, including a touchdown to Jalen Waddle in the back of the end zone. But the priority around here is all the contract talks because there's a lot of guys looking for new ones, Chris.
Yeah, let's start with Tua. I heard you earlier on HQ saying the Dolphins are kind of in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation with him. What do you mean by that?
Well, he's their starting quarterback, and he's done some really good things, but he hasn't played well in the big games. So there's concern. You have to pay him. I mean, what else do you do? Do you go back into the pool and start looking for another quarterback in the draft and start all over again? Or do you pay him? And I think they're ultimately going to pay him. He talked after practice today and said that they're moving in that direction. What the number will be interesting. Will he get over Jared Goff's number? Will it be $51 million, $52 million a year? And how is it structured in terms of the guaranteed money? I think that's all to be determined. But I think in the end, he's going to get his new contract, and that brings him to the next step, which is to win those big games. He was 1-5 last year against teams with a winning record. That's not good enough. If you're a quarterback in this league, you are defined by how good you are in the big games and in the postseason. That's the next step for Tua.
Well, he has two of the top 5 highest paid wide receivers in the league. Jalen Waddle just got a big payday. Tyreek Hill is up there as well, but you believe that he should be making even more money. How important is it for them to make him good before the season?
Well, he's got the guaranteed money and his contract has run out. And so when you look at that, if you're looking around the league and you see what Justin Jefferson just got, you're going to see what Jamar Chase gets because he's going to get that big number as well soon. CeeDee Lamb may even get a big deal, and you're Tyreek Hill, and you say, hey, I'm the best receiver in the league. It's time for me to get some more guaranteed money. I think that's the next step for him. I think his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, has sent that message to the Miami Dolphins. They know where they stand. I think ultimately in the end, you'll see him get another long-term extension as well. He wants to finish his career in Miami. I think he will finish his career in Miami.
Sometimes our conversations about the Dolphins begin and end on the offensive side of the ball. But defensively, that's something that really is going to have to take a step forward. Vic Fangio is out. They brought a new defensive coordinator in from the Baltimore Ravens. They did lose a big piece in Wilkins. Where do you see this defense going this season?
Yeah, you mentioned losing Wilkins. I think that's a big loss for them. You know, inside with Zach Sealer, they were very good on the interior, and now that puts more pressure on Sealer to be the #1 guy. That's asking a big ask of him. And then you have some other questions on that defense. But I think changing from Vic Fangio, and I'm not going to sit here and rip on Vic Fangio because they had 56 sacks last year, the most in franchise history. They did a lot of good things. But you could tell by the comments from the players over the course of the last couple of months, they tired of Vic Fangio. He is one of those old school coaches, and I think he wore on them. So now you get Anthony Weaver. He brings in that creative defense that the Ravens run. I think it'll really energize the back end. You know, we talked to Waddle Holland today, the safety. He's excited about the new defense. I think it's good for them to have change. Whether they will be better, that's a whole nother story.
All right, Pete Prisco with us from Miami Gardens. Not too hot out there yet, but this weekend temperatures expected to be in the mid-90s. Might be going inside for some of those workouts. Pete, thank you so much. Live from Dolphins camp. We're going to have the Dolphins on CBS Week 1 at home against the Jags. We'll also have that man Josh Allen, who's front and center, playing on CBS in that 1 o'clock window. Games also streaming live on Paramount+.
Jalen, you come over here, and I saw there's a little extra something in the side pockets for you. You got a nice new contract. Congratulations.
Man, thank you. Thank you so much.
How important was it to get that done and move on to the season for you?
It was very important. It wasn't something that I was, had and, like, going in the off-season, going and searching for it. But going in the off-season, we both came to an agreement, and it made sense, so we made it happen.
So it kind of surprised you a little bit then.
Yeah.
You weren't out there campaigning for it.
Yeah, exactly. That's
it's always nice when your team thinks that highly of you, though. You have to take that into account when you take the field this year.
Yes, most definitely.
You know, your coach Mike McDaniel said today that he actually thinks you had a better year last year than you did the year before, even though your numbers weren't as good. Would you agree with that?
I can see where he said that. Missed a couple games, so I was banged up, so missed some games. But I don't know. I got to look back, go to see my film from 2 years ago and see last year's film. I don't know. I can't agree with him. Can't disagree with him either.
What do you have to do to get better for personally for your game?
I think just staying consistent throughout the season, not tilting off on the end of the season, just staying with my fundamentals and just getting all the little things and all the little steps throughout the week. So on Sunday, it just be a lot faster, a lot smoother.
You guys are really fun to watch. Everybody talks about your offense, but winning big games against good teams, it was something you didn't do last year. What do you have to do to get past that hurdle?
I think as a whole, we just got to buy in, especially late in the season. Things can get kind of repetitive. It's a long season, long, hard season. Just staying consistent, buying in. We need to really hit our stride, our best football towards the end of the season and hopefully into the playoffs. That's what all the great teams and the teams that play in important games, that's what they do. So that's what we got to buy into.
You know, you got your contract. Tua's going to probably get his. There's talk about Tyreek, other guys. Is that at all a distraction for this team, or do you sit there and just hope everybody gets it done and you can move on into the season?
Never a distraction. I think we got a great caliber of guys that really love being here, love spending time. Obviously, it's the business from both parties, but I think our guys love being here, love being with the teams, and love playing with each other, so it's never a distraction.
Is this team better right now than it was a year ago at this time?
It's hard to say. It's our first day of mandatory, but we're in a good spot. We got great players. All the players that we acquired, they're doing real good, really helping us out. But it's hard to say. I don't want to put no expectations on the team. But I like our team. I like where we're at. We got great players.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Jury's still out on how much better this team is than last year's team, but the good news is they got all off season to prepare for the upcoming year, a year in which FanDuel projects them with the second best odds to win the division. The Bills, of course, did it last year on the heels of a comeback at the end of the season to edge out the Dolphins. But don't forget about the Jets and the Patriots. We know Aaron Rodgers is making his return, will hopefully be healthy for the full season. The Patriots got a new quarterback, a new head coach. A lot of things can change in an off season. Pete Prisco also sat down with safety Waddle Holland to discuss the upcoming season for the Dolphins.
Javon, new defense, new defensive coordinator. What have you seen from it so far?
A lot of energy. Weave is a hell of a coach, man. I'm really enjoying being under him and learning from him. Just a leader of men, being able to rally guys together. A lot of people that are new this year, and just bringing us together. And now, we're able to communicate as we get into minicamp, communicate, talk, be on the same page, go out there and fly around in a new defense. It's a complicated one, but everybody has a like-minded mindset, and everybody wants to, learn it and be able to play it fast. So it's very.
How does your role change in this defense? Because do you take on like a role like Kyle Hamilton had in that defense?
My role is pretty much whatever the coaches want it to be right now. Not much. I've played nickel. I've played safety. So, it's kind of a mix of both. I'm just out there, trying to learn the whole, spectrum of it, and then they can plug and play guys. We got everybody on the defense, especially in the secondary, can move around. J Rams can be in the slot. Kendall can be in the slot. Saran can be in the slot. We're really just plugging and playing and having fun with it right now, just letting everything be free and trying to learn the defense.
Was last year a little frustrating when you got banged up a little bit? You had that big play against the Jets, and then you hurt your knee and you missed a little bit of time. Was that a little frustrating for you?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I want to help my team win, and we're in a really good position to try to, make a stretch in the playoffs. And I just wasn't able to, go out there and be my best. Obviously it was a tough time, but I tried to channel that into motivating, Brandon Jones and Deshaun Elliott that was with us. They were making plays out there while I was hurt, so I was happy to see them have the opportunity to go out there and fly around. But absolutely, it was frustrating because I love football, so not being able to play it was a tough time.
You have Jordan Poyer next to you now. What's it like having a veteran like that next to you?
It's like having a coach, man. He's been in the league for 12 years, going on 13 soon. So having somebody like that, he obviously is doing something right, and I want to at least get a little, tidbit of what he knows, because he's been doing, it for a long time. So having him, next to me, giving me, keys and clues that he's picked up over time is really nice.
Contract talks are a big deal around here these days. You're up for one, it sounds like, as well. Where are you on that, and what are you looking forward to? You hope to get done before the season?
I mean, it's gonna happen when it's happened, like I said before. But I'm not really too worried about it. I'm just out here having fun with the guys. However that goes, it's gonna reflect my play on the field. So it's gonna be what it is, man. I'm excited. Obviously for the next step in my career. But I am where my feet are, and so that's out here I practice in minicamp.
Got it. Thanks.
Cool.
Everybody's due for a payday. The Dolphins will open the season on CBS, facing off with Florida foe Jacksonville in Week 1. They get 8 games on the network. That is why you need to be locked in on the NFL on CBS, coming your way this football season. You can also stream the games, as always, on Paramount+.